Hello everyone, this is Harshit. Welcome to our channel BTech Guide. In the last video we have seen some basics of Python programming and different operations supported in Python, and I've also mentioned that we will be seeing about lists, tuples and sets in separate videos. So in this video we will be learning about lists and some simple operations that we perform on lists, and we will be using Jupyter Notebook for this session. If you don't have it yet, then please watch the second lecture in which we have installed Anaconda Navigator and launched Jupyter Notebook. So let's get started. So here we are in lists. Lists are nothing but they are like dynamic sized arrays, that is they increase dynamically during the runtime. Unlike arrays in C, which are static in size, and they are declared as vectors in C++ and array lists in Java. So a single list can contain different data types. This supports different data types. It can have integer, float, string, etc. And string lists are mutable, that is they can be changed after they are initialized. Indexing in list starts from 0, so it starts from the 0th position, and also many duplicates are allowed in lists, that is we can have we can have a single value for multiple times. So these are some of the operations on lists. Here we have append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove. Please pause this video to check out what the functions of each methods are, and we will be performing all these practically. And here we have more methods like reverse and sort. So let's get started with our programming. I'm opening Jupyter Notebook. So to create a new file, you can just select new here and then click on Python 3. Since I already have a file, I'll just be opening that one. So these are the previous operations we have worked on, and now we will be working on lists. Yeah, so here they are. So this is simply creating a list. We just declare a variable lst is equal to and then include the square brackets inside which we'll have different items or elements. Please do remember that a list can have more than one data type. Just for our simplicity, I'm including only one data type here. So here when we print the list, we get all the items in the same fashion. So if we want to print separate items in the list, we just print by its index value, that is lst of 0, then we get the first value, that is tiger, since the indexing starts from 0. And when we print lst of 1, we get lion. When we print lst of 2, we get the third element, that is cherry. So we can also have negative indexing, that is if we want to print the list from the end, then we can have like this, print list of -1, that means the last element, that is we have cherry over here, so it prints cherry. Now we can also specify separate range of indexes to print. Like here we have mentioned, we have initialized a string with many items. So if we want to print from the second to the fifth elements, then it will start from cherry, that is the second element. Then it will go for monkey and banana, that's all, and it will not include the fifth, that is camel. Here we have cherry, monkey and banana. So if we want to print the list from beginning to a specified range, we just use colon. So if I want to print the first 4 elements of the list, I just print lst of colon 4, so we get the first 4 elements. And if we want to print the elements from a specified value to the end, then we keep the number from where we want to start and then colon, and then we just leave it like that. So we get from the second element, that is cherry, and then all of the remaining elements are printed here. And if we can also include range of negative indexes like this, like -4 to -1. So if we see -4, it is from -1, -2, -3, -4. So it starts from monkey and it comes till camel, and it will not include the last element, that is mango. And if we want to change a specific item in the list, we can just specify it by its index number, that is here we are changing the first element to tomato. So here we have lst of 1 is equal to tomato. When we print the list, the second element is replaced with tomato. So we can also loop through a list in order to print all the items in a list one by one. We will learn more about loops in the coming videos. For now, here we can understand that for I in lst, and we print the I. So I will point to each of the elements one after the other. So first it will print tiger and then tomato and then cherry one after the other till the end of the list. Now if we want to check if a specific item exists in a list, we can use the if or else, and then here we have if tomato in list, So if it is present in the list, it will just print whatever is there in the if block, and if it is not there, it will print whatever is there in the else block. So since tomato is there in the list, it will print yes, it is there in the list here. And we should not forget to leave these indentation or spaces over here for if, and here for loop also we have leave this indentation space. That means that only the block till where we have specified these spaces will be come under this block, that is this if block, and this will come under else block. So if we want to print the number of items in the list, we can use the len of method. So here we are printing the len of lst. There are 7 elements in the list, so it printed 7. And if we want to add items at the end of the list, we can just use the append method. Here we are appending donkey, that is lst.append of donkey, and when we print the list, we get donkey at the end of the list. We can also insert at a specific position by using the insert method. In this insert method, we specify the index value first and then the item which we want to insert. So here I am inserting orange in the second index value. So index got inserted in the third index value, that is the index starts from 0. And if we want to remove a specific item, we can just use this method remove, and if we use this method remove of donkey, this will remove the donkey in the list. See when we print it, the donkey is not there. And we can also use pop method to remove this from the specified index. So if we don't know what item we need to remove and we only know the index from where we need to remove, we can use this pop method. See, we have used lst.pop of 1, that is the second element will be removed. Here we have tomato as a second element. Now when after popping and we print the list again, tomato is not there. So if we do not specify an index and use the pop method, it will just remove the last element. So here we have used it, and before we had mango in the list, now the last element mango is not there now. We can also use del method to remove the specific index. So here we are using del lst of 1. Here we have orange here, but now orange is removed. And we can use the del keyword to also remove the whole list. So we use del of lst, just give the name of the list and this will be removed. If we print the list again after deleting, it will just throw an error like name lst is not defined, since we have already deleted it now. Now if we want to empty the existing list without deleting it completely, we can use a method called clear. So when we initialize the list to these few items and then we use the method clear on it, it just prints the empty list, that is empty square brackets. And we can also copy a list into another list by using this. First we have initialized list into list as lst and included some values apple, lion and tiger. Now we are initializing another list, my list, and we are copying it. So we are using the method lst.copy. So all the contents of lst will be copied into my list. So when we print my list, the same thing will be printed. And here is another way to copy the list. We initialize the lst is equal to apple, lion, tiger again, and we use another variable l is equal to list of lst. This is just like typecasting into list, so that we specify that it is a list to the variable l. And when we print l, it will print apple, lion, tiger again. And we can also join two lists using this. First we have initialized l1 and then we have initialized l2. Now in l3 we just use the plus operator to join both the lists. So after printing l3, we get the elements of both the lists, that is l1 and l2. And here is another way to join two lists. We use a for loop for I in l2, that is it will point to l2, and then inside the loop we have l1 dot append of I. So for the list l1, the I will be appended at the end of l1. So when we print l1, we get all the elements together, and when we print l2, only the cow, goat and sheep which we have initialized before will come. We can also use extend method to copy or to join two lists. So here we are initializing two lists, and then if we want to join the elements of list 2 into the elements of list 1, then we can use l1 dot extend of list 2. So all the elements of l2 will come into l1, and when we print l1, we get all the elements like this, and when we print l2, it stays like as it is. And we also have direct methods for sorting. So here I have initialized the list with numbers so that we can understand much easier. So here I have a list L which is unsorted. So we printed it before sorting, and we just use the method L dot sort, and all the elements of the list will be sorted automatically. So after we print it, we get it as a sorted array that is in ascending order. So if we want to sort it in descending order, we just keep L dot sort reverse equal to true. We just include this attribute inside the method, so we get it in descending order. We can also sort strings. So if we sort a string, it will be sorted according to the alphabetical order. The first letter will be sorted. So here we have initialized L is equal to tiger, cherry, zebra, ox and grass. So when we put L dot sort and print L, then we get cherry, grass, ox, tiger and zebra. That is they are sorted in an alphabetical order. So this is all about lists. If you want to learn more about lists, please do surf the internet. And if you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you.